Good day, viewers all over the world. You're welcome to today's classroom. In our previous lesson, we saw how to compute the trig ratios of some special angles without the use of a calculator. Should you haven't seen that video yet, please do well to click on the link to this particular video below to get access to the previous video. In our classroom today, we are going to be looking at what I call the finger trick, using our fingers to obtain the values of these trig ratios. To begin with, I'll introduce us to these acronyms we have on the board: NOFU, NOFA, NOFA, NOFU. NOFU here stands for number of fingers underneath, which is used to obtain the sine of angles. NOFA here stands for number of fingers above, used to obtain the cosine of angles. And then we have the NOFA, NOFU for tangents. Here, given an angle say theta, sine of an angle theta is given by what? The square root NOFU over 2. The cos of an angle theta is given by what? The square root NOFA over 2. While the tan of an angle theta is given by the square root NOFA over the square root NOFU. Now, how do we apply this rule on our fingers? Note today that our fingers are at angular distances from each other. Okay? If you look at the board, you can observe that the thumb finger, we can establish a right angle between the thumb finger and the pinky finger. Hence, we label our pinky finger 0 degrees, is parallel to the horizontal, we label it 0 degrees. This is the ring finger, we label it 30 degrees. The middle finger, we label it 45 degrees. Index finger 60 degrees, thumb finger 90 degrees. How do we apply this rule? Let's take an example, 30 degrees. Which finger is representing 30 degrees? Of course, is the what? Ring finger. The ring finger is representing 30 degrees. So what do? You bend the ring fingers, you apply the rule for sine. Okay? Square root NOFU, number of fingers underneath. Under this bent finger, how many fingers do we have? Just one. So square root of 1. So sine of angle 30 degrees is given by what? Square root of 1 over 2, which is the same as what? 1 over 2. Sine of 30 degrees is what? 1 over 2. Let's take for cos. The cos of 30 degrees. Cos of 30 degrees. For cos, the rule says what? Square root NOFA over 2. NOFA, number of fingers above. 30 degrees, we bend. Square root 30 degrees. You can see it, right? Number of fingers above. How many fingers do we have above? 3. Good. We have square root of cos 30 degrees, square root 3 over 2. Is that what we have on the board? Cos of 30 degrees, square root 3 over 2. Okay, let's take another angle, 45 degrees. Which finger is representing 45 degrees? Good, the middle finger, we bend. Apply the sine rule. Square root NOFU. How many fingers do we have underneath? 2. So we're going to have what? Sine of 45 degrees is what? Square root 2 over 2. Okay, some text will have it to be what? 1 over 2. Okay, 1 over root 2. Some text will give you this. How do you do that? How do you get that? Just rationalize this. You have times root 2 over root 2. This give us what? Root 4 over 2. Root 2. Which is saying what? 2 over 2. Root 2. 2 cancel out 2. You have what? 1 over root 2. So sine of 45 degrees is what? 1 over root 2. What about cos of 45 degrees? Cos. Square root NOFA. 45 degrees. The middle finger is bent. NOFA. Okay? Number of fingers above. How many fingers do we have above? 2. Okay? So the same thing, we're going to have what? Cos 45 degrees to be what? Root of 2 over 2, which is the same as what? 1 over root 2, as we have seen for sine. Alright? It's very simple. So we can obtain sine and cosine, positioning our fingers this way. What about for tan? For tan, the reverse is the case. We will need to what? turn over our hand this way. Okay? Let's take an example. Tan 30 degrees. Which finger is representing 30 degrees? Good. The ring finger. We bend. When you bend the finger, you turn over. Then apply the rule. Okay? Root Nofa. Number of fingers above. How many fingers do we have above? 1. How many fingers do we have below? 3. So tan of 30 degrees is what now? Root 1 over root 3. The same as what? 1 over root 3. Tan 30 degrees, 1 over root 3. Do we see it now? Let's take another angle. Let's take tan 45 degrees. Where is 45 degrees? This, right? We bend and then we turn. Square root Nofa over what? Square root Nofu. We're going to have what? Tan 45 degrees is what? Square root 2 over square root 2, which is what? 1. Is tan 45 1? Let's check. Tan 45 degrees is what? 1. Simple as that. Okay? Now, let us take some special cases. 90 degrees. Tan of 90 degrees. Tan of 90 degrees. Which finger is representing 90 degrees? The thumb. We bend and we turn over. Apply the rule. Square root Nofa. How many fingers do we have above? 4. We're going to have tan 90 degrees to be what? Square root 4 over Nofu. How many fingers do we have underneath the bent finger? None. Over what? 0. This gives an undefined value and we represent it with what? Infinity. Alright? This will give you an undefined value, and in mathematics we represent with what? The sign infinity. Okay? That is it. Very simple. Within seconds we are going to obtain the values of these functions. Now I'm going to give you a work to do, which I expect us to please give our replies in the comment section. The cosec of angles, the sec function, and then the cot functions. Cosec here implies the reciprocal of what? Sine. Sec, the reciprocal of cos. Cot, the reciprocal of tan. You do this and please subscribe, click the link below, and let me get your replies in the comment section. And please, we urge you to please, viewers, try and subscribe to our channel. Alright? This will give us the enablement to serve you in a better way. Thank you for staying with us. God bless you. It's bye for now.